Welcome back to another episode of More to the Story. I am Farron Moore, and to hear more is out there being great. So I have the beautiful Miss St. Angeles Dominique Lovings here to co-host and fill
Hey,
in for me. And we have already started talking all the shit.
I feel really, maybe I'm a little more sexual than I like to believe because Corey was really nervous. She's like, you on the live? I don't know what's going to
Corey
happen.
who?
Corey B. It
Oh,
wasn't a
Corey
bad
B.
thing. We had this funny conversation the other day. It was like Corey, Rito have hopped in or whatever. He was just saying hi, but I don't know what he said.
Mhm.
But it started this whole conversation about different things, and now I'm the one to blame. I'm the one that got the sexual potty mouth. I am a Christian.
Stop. Stop and stop. But you know what? You are pretty just in the conversations, the shit I've I've let you in on in my experience. It's like compared to me, you probably are a little more vanilla. But I feel like a lot of people are compared to me.
Here, okay. So in regards to, yes, but
I'm sorry, the confirmation took me out.
but in hindsight, when I think about sexual activity and things that I wouldn't do, you know how people have like a long laundry list. It's really only two things that really just don't intrigue me like that, and
Only two things that you know about.
that I know. I listen. I be watching wild shit, and I'd be like, "Ooh, I want to do that." Or
What's the
I'm
wildest
open.
thing? What's your fantasy? Wait, we got off the subject, but we gonna go back. Nope. Answer it.
See, here we go again, Corey. It might be me. I might be the
She's
problem.
the problem.
I might be the problem, Corey.
She's the problem.
I might be the problem. Well, you know me, and it's kind of basic to me, but I would love. Here we go again. I would love to have sex with two men. Not where they like interact with each other, because
Right.
I know how like men get sometimes, especially like our men, black
Mhm.
men.
Mhm.
But then it's like, oh, you want a train ran on you. I'm
That's
like,
the most ridiculous response.
it is, and I was like, actually, it's still a menage a trois. Like it's still a threesome. It requires three people.
And just
It's-
the fact that that's where your mind goes shows how little you know.
and that's how I feel, and that's why a lot of you guys don't deserve no pussy. But whatever. What do I know? Good morning, friend. I'm happy to be
Morning.
here.
I'm happy you're here. Thank you for coming out. I really appreciate it. What was we? Oh, so before before the intro, we were talking about auto-fellatio. And for those who don't know, that is the a
Art.
penis member, right? The art of a penis membered individual performing oral sex on themselves. Fellatio, I don't know. I was trying to break down prefixes and word chunks. Nope.
I would say, friend, yes, it would be fellatio, like on
Like-
themselves. Like they was like,
like
this
autobiography is a
About
biography you wrote about yourself. Auto-fellatio.
Yeah.
Is there auto cunnilingus? Auto?
I mean,
That I don't
apparently,
know.
I wonder because the other rumor was that Janet Jackson had her bottom ribs taken out so she can perfect like her ab, like that, how it's sculpted. So if she doesn't have those ribs, maybe she could.
Wait, why a woman got to have ribs removed, but a man could just fold himself in half?
I don't know, but it wasn't that the rumor about Marilyn Manson too, that he had the ribs removed.
Oh, that I never heard that part. Is that
That
true?
I don't know. People be out here
Because I
doing
thought that
stuff.
people. Oh, so auto cunnilingus is a thing. I was more intrigued
You would
by
have to
the
have a short
fellatio one.
torso, right, to do that? Because I have like a longer torso.
Oh no, bend yourself up. Stick your face in your coochie, friend. Put that face in that coochie here.
But you know, I ain't as flexible. I downloaded the Stretch app, so I'm determined to be able to stretch a lot.
I'm taking you to hot yoga with me next time I go.
I'm gonna throw up.
I'm gonna put you in the coolest part of the room
Okay, I'm telling you,
I
regular
sit
yoga,
in the
hot
middle.
yoga, I throw up.
because the way the heat distributes in the room, the left side of the studio I go to is the hottest part. Like the
Okay.
front left corner is the hottest, and then the whole fucking room is hot, but it's really hot there. One time I tried to challenge myself. Not tried. I did challenge myself. And I stayed to the left side of the room. When I tell you, I almost died. I had never sweat so much in my entire life. But back to auto-fellatio. So, so I bring this up. I'm happy it came up before the intro because I was scrolling through, and was it Tyler Chronicles on had posted this clip, me too, this clip from IG of these white guys podcast. You saw it? And he was like, so whites explain. So basically it's these guys, they were surprised that black and brown men, boys, don't masturbate together because apparently it's just a thing that
like
white guys do. You know, and then it goes to the clip of the dude being like, yeah, we played Ookie Cookie, and so you just had to like jack off over this cookie with your buddies all standing in a circle, and the last one to nut had to eat the whole I cannot. Just being in him saying it out loud, he was like,
he realized how messed up
he
it
was like, I think he was like, it sounds really gay, but it was just like, it was kid shit. Like, no, kids. Where did you learn this? Kids didn't really.
You know, you hear certain things that happen in the locker room. You know, like I've heard gym stories, you know, like public gym stories where people are like, the male gym, like they like, you're definitely, you want to have on some sort of swim shoes, flip flop or something, especially going into the shower, because apparently it's like semen everywhere
in
like the
locker
lockers,
room?
yeah, in the locker rooms, because they just be.
So they just jack it in front of each other all the time.
Yes, and or people have walked in and people have been fucking, like, whatever you identify as. Like, I hear that the male locker rooms are always very chaotic and very, yeah. So, but I wonder if. So you want to know what's funny?
So, no,
is that
wait. Back to locker room chaos for a second. I say this because I remember reading this story that I found, probably on fucking BuzzFeed or something, about this woman, like, seeing this other woman come into the locker room. I can't remember whether or not she was getting ready to take a shower or had just come out the shower, but she was naked, and she literally like sat down and was like picking at her coochie. Just in the locker room in front of everybody, and then she like smelled her hand afterwards and stuff, and I was like,
I would hope this is pre-shower, because she's like, okay, I worked out, do I have an odor, am I able to, because you know some people just not as
do
clean
that
as us.
in the toilet stall,
but some people
do that with the door.
Listen, it is 2023. We are in almost year 4 of COVID. People be dirty. And so that's what I was thinking. Maybe she was like, if it don't really stink, if like maybe if it smelled like I just probably had a little sex or something, just a little sweat, I ain't got a shower. You know, I don't be washing their legs. So like
she'd be like, then I just have to wash my hair.
And then she probably put, or maybe she was trying to do it like how I was doing. And you remember that time I was wearing my juices? And then
she was I
really was. So maybe she was
good neck scent.
Yeah, so maybe that's what was happening. She was trying to see what would happen.
So I did not hear about it ever being a thing that guys like would jack off with each other or in a group until I was damn near grown. Now, the weird things, I did hear a lot of weird shit and even experience some weird shit being in a predominantly white middle and high school. And so it was like times where, you know, these girls, friends or whatever, but they sitting there and they laughing about something and they like pulled up their sports bras and like bump titties or like rub their titties together and
Yeah.
shit, like stuff like that. And I'm like, but it was still like all the black girls around, and I say all loosely because it was maybe 3 of us.
Right.
In this class. 3 is a lot for one class, so it probably wasn't even that many. But it was like,
Yeah,
is this a thing that people do? Why are they rubbing breasts? Like it was so weird.
I will say I think that there's this, as we're like maturing and being able to like really take a step back and have adult conversations, just like how that guy was like, yo, like in real life this might be messed up or a little freaky.
Yeah.
I think that there's this space where, Anglo-Saxon, where however you adapt, like European, whatever, like they've had the range to always kind of be a little more free and sexual.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, and we think about like sometimes a lot of the trauma that has been passed down to us, and we're just still not as quirky, like just like the conversation we were having, like depending on like the type of person and where they were raised, if they're Black, like that conversation of having sex with like 2 men, though you're not interacting at all, like becomes very, oh my God, you think I'm gay, what do you think about me? And I'm like,
know what?
no, it's not like that. It's just like you like to have us to say. I'm like, I should be asking you that when you want me to sleep with women.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Yes, but you know what? Me and the kid, that's why I fucks with the kid so hard. Like
we all fuck with the kid.
That's my nigga. We were just talking today about how Black men are, hyper what she call it? Hyper masculinized or something like that. She used some word, I don't know, some word the kid is like by far so much smarter than me.
She's a Libra, guys. She's an amazing air sign.
She is so fucking dope. Even when we are upset with each other, because we bumped heads last night, something unrelated, but we bumped heads last night.
You was being an Aries?
Huh?
Were you being an Aries?
No, she was being a very emotional fucking Libra. It was not on me last night.
I want to circle back to that.
It was not on me. I'll tell you the whole fucking story. It was not on me at all, because when it is me, I'd be like, you know what? You're right.
Okay.
That is on me. And I will do XYZ, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. That's how I operate. That's how I parent, especially her. But last night, she was on some just highly just super selfish, only child, emotional shit. And I was like, I have no time. I need you to sit and reflect on what the fuck you just said to me. Anyway, we'll stick a pen. There's a pen in that. But yeah, so we were just talking about, she was telling me, this is how it came up. Okay, memory coming through. So she was telling me about how the suicide prevention hotline has resources specifically for Black people and Black people of different age groups.
Oh, wow.
And Black people of different genders, lifestyles, blah, blah, blah. So there's a Black LGBTQ, a Black men, Black women, like there's resources for these groups. And I was like, that is so important, because out of everything we go through, yes, people, no matter ethnicity, whatever, race, whatever, we go through a lot of the same shit. I was like, but in America, being Black is always an added layer on whatever the fuck we are going through, whether it's anxiety, depression, by being bipolar, like whatever it is, being Black is always an added layer. And so just finding a therapist, just finding resources aren't enough, because they're so tailored to people who don't have that layer.
Yeah.
And so we were just talking about that, and how Black women, like, though we can't be too feminine, we are still over sexualized. So it's like little girls can't wear your shoulders exposed because now you're fast, or you look too grown, and it's stuff like that. And it's like, but the little white girls can, and it's not there's no question. You know, so we were just having this whole conversation about being
Being able to
being
just
black.
be, just being able to
Yes.
be. And I
Yeah.
think what has happened recently, especially amongst like our peers and us,
Mhm.
I feel like it's just such a safe space.
Mhm.
I think even my experience going to St. Louis with y'all outside of our chaotic moment,
I don't even remember a chaotic moment, but
it
keep
wasn't
going.
chaotic. It wasn't chaotic for real. But when we went to get the Chinese food, that was hella funny. And
Oh
I was like, hey,
shit.
hey, did you
I
ever tell?
love how literally everybody
Except for Tahir.
No, wasn't
No,
him?
Tahir
I
missed
thought it was
it.
Pat that was confused.
No, Pat was a little, because I was looking at Pat in the eye. I had told Persephone, I was like, girl, I was looking at him, but I couldn't make too much of a face. But you already picked up on it. We were here, but I couldn't do too much because it was a dude looking at me like this. I was like, what is happening? And then he's like, let's walk. No. Let's get in the car. It's cold. He said, but it's just let's get in the car. No, it's cold.
Yes. Yeah, because he knew like we can't stay inside of the little rice house, but Pat was completely lost on everything. He was like, yeah, I saw them walk in, but he was like, I didn't think much of it.
No.
He was like, so what did I miss? And so we had to explain the whole thing. We're going to explain it right now. So we were in a rice house in St. Louis. We walk into this rice house. There's no one in there but me, Tahir, Dom, the kid, and Patrick. So in us being there, we're placing our order, and a guy comes, he looks in, he walks back out.
Red flag.
Red flag. So, but for a situation like that, because it wasn't a huge space. It wasn't super small, but it wasn't a huge space. So you look in there and it's 5 people in there. You're like, I'll wait till somebody comes out. So I actually probably would have peeked in, been like, I don't want to stand in here with all these people. I'll wait till somebody comes out. Like I would have moved like that just being a woman.
Mm-hmm.
But for a guy to do it with the car that we had, yes, pulled up in it or whatever. So he did it, and then he left, and he comes back with buddies. And they all just spread out and kind of like surround us. And then 2 more came in. So at this point, it's like
4 of them, because it was
was 4, right?
It was a chick, and then like what was really interesting is that nobody ever, because Pat and I wasn't even standing behind y'all close. Yeah. We were off talking, but nobody asked anybody, were we in line?
Were you in line? Did you place your order? Or like anything? No question. They just all went towards, like, purposely stood behind us,
like, and it was one in the
surrounded
corner.
Us. Yes, surrounded us. They spread out. You came in together, but you spread out around us. Didn't ask any questions about who was in line, whose orders been placed, or anything like that. And it just gets like oddly just uncomfortable and quiet. And so me and the kids standing across the way, and she comes over and she's trying to talk to me, and I was like, not right now. I was like, I'm on high alert and you should be too. We need to leave. And so then me and Dom lock eyes, and Tahir finishes placing the order. And so we're like, yeah, let's go outside.
And it's so funny because he was just so like, because we was in the moment, because we like literally like, everybody, I feel like, is still on this high. We had like such a great time. All this stuff is happening, and I was just like, first of all, it was cold anyway, so I was not interested in walking. Yeah, so it was a store we wanted to go to around the corner, and Tahir's like, let's just walk around the corner, and I'm like, me and Dom are both like, no, it's cold. Let's get in the car. And we get in the car, and it's like, not only is it cold, but also we should not leave this fucking car here. Dog, this is a rental. We should not leave this here. Yeah, it was so funny. And like, yeah, it was a lot. And Patrick was like, what? And then I realized in hindsight, because we know to hear and pat on such like a human level. Like we're friends. Like people say certain stuff to you or to me, like just like how the girl when we went to the mall we were Target, whatever, and they was like, oh my God, like you're fair. And I was like, girl, take that picture, like live for that shit. Get us some free food, whatever the hell she going.
You
like,
so fucking stupid.
Like I'm that friend. Like let's milk it.
And I'm sitting there like, I don't want to be an inconvenience.
Yeah, you know, but I'm like basking that. Like when people come up and they be asking me about y'all, I'll be living because now I'm famous vicariously through y'all.
Yo ass.
Like, you know, like I know my time is coming, but
this
like,
is the company I keep.
Yeah, you know, like, but I always tell Tahir, I'm like, yo, you can't do that. Or you
he forgets.
He forgets.
And he also, like, I'm happy this was the first time I had been able to make it back to St. Louis with him. And so I'm like, yo, you still try to move around St. Louis like this is still your St. Louis, nigga. You have not lived here in 13 years. This is not your St. Louis anymore.
I don't even move around like that
this
no
is
more,
not your St. Louis anymore. Like, I need you to, like, oh, such and such gone and this is different and they added such. Nothing about this place is your St. Louis anymore. Nope. This is not home for you anymore. This is where you're from.
Yeah, it's different.
But yeah, you can't move the same way.
You just really kind of have to go off the grid. And like, had I even thought about it, because the first venue had asked us about security. And so I told them like, absolutely, like, great, like, yes, we will need them that night, whatever. But then it didn't occur to me like the entire time. And so the friends that I know that are bound, you know, like that's their line of work, like my boy being Smino's bodyguard and my other friend that's in like, but had I known in advance or even thought about it, I would have been like this. But going forward, now we know. Because it was, I ain't even gonna hold y'all. It was kind of like a little adrenaline rush. It was kind of cool. It was kind of cool.
But it just scared it worries me because you hear about it so often that the people who make it out, they go back to visit and connect and just to remain grounded. Yeah. And it be the motherfuckers at home, at quote unquote home, that pull up on them and be on some fuck shit. Hell, Boogie. Yeah. I mean, and they weren't even after him. They were after somebody else and he just got caught in the you know, so it's like, hell, Nipsey. Yep. It happened at home.
Yep. Always.
Pop Smoke.
Yep.
It happened at home.
Well,
if she got more information than me, never mind. He wasn't in New
York because that would be home for him, but that was out here. And unfortunately, the post, when you tag locations and all that stuff, you have to be really careful with that because that's how you can pinpoint. That's how I've never been a person that will put locations. And if I post sometimes, like I'll post after I leave. Yeah. One, also just to kind of be in that moment and appreciate life a little bit more. But now, girl.
Yeah, I had to, I remember talking to hear about that too. Like, hey, just save that video that you capturing right now. Yeah, don't post that shit. Yeah. Cause it's too many people, they move too fast, somebody gonna pull up on you. Hell, it happened to Kev in Hawaii. He posted where he was. It was like the first year of the tour, the first tour that he did. He posted where he was, and somebody was like, "Oh, was in the area," and just pulled up on him. So I was like, "So stop doing that." Because it's scary.
You buy a ticket to my show.
Even if you have the best intentions, that's creepy.
Yeah, it really...
just happening up on somebody is one thing, but I
might be
creepy.
like that a little bit though when it comes to dating people. I might try to lurk and see what's happening, so them niggas make sure they see me. But I fall back. I don't do too much.
Hard pass. Okay, I ain't working that hard.
Nah, sometimes, and depending on like the person and what realm like they fall in, you kind of got to do a little work. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh, she out here stalking fucking ball players, y'all.
I don't do that. They stalk me. Anyway.
Right. Okay. So the conversation with the kid.
Yes.
So she came to me, I don't remember, while she was still on holiday break, and asked me if we could do like another little K-pop marathon thing, because she just had some music she wanted to, some video she wanted me to see, some music she wanted to share with me. And I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, can we I was like, how about we make it a reaction video and we like do some content. And so we sit, we do it, whatever, laugh, talk through it, whatever. And afterwards, she's like, so what did you think? And I was like, well, it's still not my cup of tea, but I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
And so she comes to me last night.
Oh shit.
Right. And mind you, we did this Sunday or Monday. So she comes to me last night, Wednesday, and was like, so it seems like you only wanted to watch the K-pop things with me to get content, and that you always walk away saying that you didn't like anything and it hurts my feelings.
Oh no.
And so I was like, awkward silence. Awkward silence because I'm processing. And I respond to her, and I was like, yes, I do want to get it as content because I know I'm not the only Black mom of a kid who's so in love with K-pop, but me, it's not my thing, but I still want to connect with my kid.
Yeah.
I was like, so I'm not the only mom that's out there, only
Yeah.
parent out there that's
Yeah.
like that. I was like, so yes, I want to capture it because I still enjoy looking at the fashion. The fashion always catches my attention in these fucking videos.
Girl.
But I like clothes, I like style and stuff like that. So that's what I cue in on. The music does not appeal to me, not even a little bit. I'm even into the choreo. Not enough to want to learn it. I ain't trying to be TikToking and throwing my elbows around, but I do enjoy seeing the choreography because I have a dance background.
Right.
So those two things are the reason why I'm like, yes, I'll do it. And it's just time with my kid.
Right.
I was like, so you're saying that, I was like, you literally asked me for my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Am I supposed to quiet myself because it doesn't agree with yours? I'm not saying that.
Well, what are you saying, kid?
I was like, so help me understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Run it back. Tell me again. It just hurts my feelings because I keep sharing music with you and you just keep saying you don't like it. Stop asking me to listen to shit that you already know I'm not going to like. We have covered that K-pop, as far as the music style, is not my jam.
Yeah.
I was like, I do this to spend time with you. Nigga, you don't drink coffee, but if I ask you to walk to Starbucks with me, you will go with me because you want to spend time with me.
Correct.
I don't know what the fuck you want me to do with this information.
It's
so,
but I it's kind of tricky.
she just really wants me to like it, and I really don't. And it's like, get over it.
Yeah, it's like my mom and Christmas, man.
You're not a baby.
Yeah.
I don't have to pretend to eat the food to get you to eat it. This is something we don't have in common.
Yeah.
I was like, but
It's okay.
it's okay. Like,
Yeah, I like hanging out with you.
exactly. And so that's what I was trying to get her to understand. I was like,
Yeah,
you don't smoke, kid, but if I'm going outside for a smoke break, you will come with me sometimes just to spend time with me. You're not interested in the smell of it. You're not interested in trying it. Like, she has no interest in it.
Right.
Not that I'm trying to hand weed to my 17-year-old,
right.
it's not your thing. But you
Right.
are around me because you want to spend time with me. I'm doing this because I want to spend time with you.
Right.
Like, and that's what it's all about. Who cares if I don't like it? Just be like, yo, my mama hate this shit, but she'll hang with me, and that's
Right.
dope.
I think because you kind of want to sometimes find something. I understand that.
Mhm.
But then also, I just realized that we're all like our own people. Like, my mom, we didn't force her to listen to like Backstreet Boys or Spice Girls. And she had no interest, but she would buy us the music, buy us the concert tickets.
Let you blast it through the house.
Lucretia was never going to know. Lucretia was dropping us off at concerts by ourselves when we was in elementary school.
Mhm.
We went to see Immature by ourselves.
Yeah.
She, no interest. But I support you.
Hell, I have gone to a K-pop concert with this nigga.
Yeah, I think what happens is that we're so used to living in a space where it kind of feels like parents have to, in order for y'all to have some sort of relationship, you have to engage with them on some sort of level and kind of like what they like and all these different things, because you see other, and maybe she sees other people's parents like, oh, they can get into it, and maybe she's hoping that at some point she can sway you and change your mind. But it's just like, I just like really kicking it with you, and yeah, it's fun to do a reaction video, and that's okay. But hey, next time maybe I can introduce you to something. That's how you get her. She won't do it no more. She have her listen to some of your music or old school something that she wouldn't know nothing about, and she was like, I don't want to do this. And then that's how you get her. She's like, I see what you did there.
But she has no problem telling me no, or that she's not interested in things. Like, she does it all the time.
Mhm.
Hell, I've been like, she's needed an energy boost, and I'm like, well, you want to try a small Red Bull or take a couple sips of the one that I have or something like that? No. Okay, nigga, fine.
To go take a nap.
Right. Like, it's whatever. Like, we don't have to. And just for her to take that approach, I'm like, I appreciate that you want me to like it, but I also need you to appreciate the fact that I don't.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of genres of music I don't listen to. I don't like heavy metal. I don't like country. I don't really like pop, and that's across the board. So I sure is not gonna.
Hold on.
I used to listen to a lot of pop music. I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood, school, all the things, and so I was a Z107.
I was about to say, so you were. I
was definitely a hell.
You were not a genie in a bottle.
Yeah, one of my first really big concerts was a Katy Perry concert, and that shit was amazing.
Katy Perry, we were adults when Katy Perry.
Yeah. I took my nieces, well, we could have dropped them heifers off by themselves, but we were just Aggie as helicopter parents, me and my sister. So we bought ourselves tickets and on the floor a few rows behind them so we could keep an eye on them.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
But like, I did used to like pop music, but it just doesn't appeal to me anymore.
Yeah, it's different nowadays.
So it's like, I don't know. I don't really care for jazz, especially not the Bill Cosby jazz. Like, that whole...
What's Bill Cosby jazz?
The music that him and Claire Huxtable used to dance to in the living room.
And
all that, super like erratic. It's like...
The other night, when it was raining, I was in a sentimental mood. You
listen to some jazz.
I was Duke Ellington. Know, it depends on the vibe. It be some stuff that's just kind of, but like sentimental mood. It's just sexy though. It's like these keys, and it kind of reminds you of like the raindrops. It's like da-da-da-da-da.
And I can do jazz with some instruments, but some of the brass, some of it I can't. My ears just full shut down. My brain will completely shut down. And so it's like, this isn't the only thing I don't like. Like, it's okay for us to have different opinions on this. So she just got super just weird about it, and I was like, I need you to sit with that and reflect on what you said. And I closed her bedroom door and I went on about my business, because we not finna do this.
Ma'am. I understand both sides of it, of course.
I do not.
I understand what I could see from her perspective, but it's also maybe, like I said, okay, you want me to watch something, or think about it from my perspective, and maybe introduce her to something different. That's still fun, but it's like this. It's the idea. I just want to really hang out with you, boo. Like, I don't have to really care too much for it. I really just like spending time with you.
Right. And so that's what I was trying to get her to understand. Just the fact that somebody will withstand temporary discomfort to appease you.
Yeah.
That's a good gesture.
Yeah. I mean,
like, it doesn't kill me to listen to K-pop. Yeah. And So I mean, and there's times where it's like, can I play this for you? And it's like, I can't right
Not
now.
today.
But it's a lot of the times where I'm like, yeah, let me let me wrap my head around the fact that I'm about to listen to an hour of music that I hate. Give me a minute.
I have a friend, every time I get in her car for the past like 10 years, I'm like, so you just listen to these same like 7 songs
Really?
all day, every day. And I understand the concept. Maybe she has some form of anxiety or whatever, because that's what they tell you.
Mhm.
Like, listen or watch something that you know, right?
Mhm.
But it's all I'm so sick of day 26. And it was like a couple of other songs, like a couple songs from one of our homegirls, like when she and her sister had a group. And I was like, so nothing else.
Mhm.
And it's 2022, and the last time she picked me up, that's the last time I rode her car. Nothing new. Okay.
Really?
I'm like, do you need?
Does it just not appeal to her at all, or is
You
it
know,
just for when she's driving?
I don't. I have no clue.
Because sometimes you just need something kind of soothing, something that you can sing along to while you're driving. Like I am going 90s R&B anytime I'm driving for a long time. I drove down to Joshua Tree and it was like 90s R&B playlist, and I sang to the top of my lungs all the way down there and all the way back.
I think it just probably depends. Like I feel like it depends on the mood, like and depends on where I'm at that day. What am I feeling? And so when I used to drive to Phoenix often, I would, listen to certain music, because as you're driving through, like you would drive through Joshua Tree, Palm Springs, you would drive through all the red rocks. So I knew that this drive was like more of like decompressing me. And I know that I'm about to have a fun time, but I'm also really going to relax because my sister would like never like do too much. But baby, not that same list over and over. I'm like, that's the only thing you got. You don't have Spotify. You don't have Tidal. What's happening? Is this on CD? Your car had a CD player. Shit.
Maybe that's the problem. Need to get her, what's that little Spotify card thing they have now? She need that so that she can.
Shit.
I almost got that just for the sake of having it. Then I was like, where the fuck you gonna put this? This is a waste of money and time, but I just wanted to play with it. So now I just got to find somebody who got one who will let me play with it.
The cool thing about Spotify, I don't know if you could still do it, and I would probably have to try to search you or try to connect with you some kind of way. But my best friend and I have a playlist that we share, so it's based on. They generate it based on the music that we listen to, and it consistently updates. So he can see.
Do y'all share an account?
We don't share an account.
Really?
No. And so you'll see, it'll have the picture next to it, like this person listens to this. Or if it's both of us, it'll have both our picture. So it's really cool. So you kind of discover new artists like that too. That's a fun thing to do.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
I'm about to spam all my friends with a little playlist thing.
It's really cool.
Let's
it's
have
really
a
cool.
thing. I could not do that with Ayo though, because she doesn't listen to music. We argue about it every time I go to her house. She's like, bitch, I don't listen to music. I listen to this podcast. And I'm like, how do you?
Oh my gosh.
So every time I go to her house, she's like, you're not at home. I don't have Spotify on my TV. So I always got to take a speaker.
Capricorns always try to do these things to make themselves unique and stand out. And there you go. That proves my theory further.
Yes. So this is, before we close out this episode, this is still pretty much the top of the year. How's the new year treating you so far?
It's so funny that you brought up Tyler earlier. I was talking to Tyler and telling him how I really felt different. Like the energy felt different coming into 2023. I don't know if it's because I was asleep when the ball dropped. I woke up, it was 12:08.
Really?
Yeah, I woke up, it was 12:08. Also very mad that I missed Miley Cyrus's New Year's Eve party. Dolly Parton
wasn't it in Miami?
I don't know where it was, but they were streaming it, and I saw Dolly Parton, and then Paris Hilton came out and was singing "Stars Are Blind," and I just had
Paris Hilton was singing.
You know the stars are crazy. You know the stars are blind. That's a song. It's from way back.
No,
but it was nostalgia. So I know, but anyway. So I told Tyler.
No.
that I'm gonna send it to you.
No.
Anyway, I was telling him like I just felt really positive about what was happening, and just even sitting back and sitting with my thoughts and kind of like just being in that manifestation mode. Like the group that we haven't worked together in a while, but I always would try to check in like, hey, how y'all doing? Like, hope everybody's gearing up and excited and thinking about like their plans for the next year. And I think what happens is sometimes is we bombard ourselves with all these different things. And I literally have probably like 6 goals that I think are totally doable for the entire year. So that's like a goal every 2.5 months that you want to master.
Oh, okay.
But while still being, but still pushing forward, being able to just really speak to the person that I feel like I'm really blossoming into. And it feels really good. And just like when we were at the airport, I said, girl, I can't wait till we be like, flying private. I was like, this is just too common for me. All these people coughing, feeling
is ghetto.
It's very ghetto. It is just a deluxe bus in the sky. Like when you really,
it's a Greyhound.
It is, and then people want to sit on top of you, eat funky foods, and do weird things.
I am one of them people that I do not care about being on the plane and eating. If I am hungry, I don't care what I have.
I don't care.
I am going to eat.
Don't bring no fish plate though.
Yo, did you see
that girl had?
Do you remember that thing? Nigga, she had her whole fucking crab boil.
Yeah, no, but like low key, the girl like on the way back, like it was.
You sat next to somebody?
Yeah, it was like. It was a mess, and I'm just like, come on, y'all, like, why is this happening? But it's fine, whatever. I don't mind flying. Like trust me, I would rather fly than drive any day. But like little stuff like that. So I always say to myself, like I'm wealthy. It's just not in liquid form yet, but it will be. So when I think about my goals and things that I want to accomplish and take on, and kind of like, hey, yeah, put it on a calendar to go out. We can schedule it. But my mindset is just very different. And I think about how, like your post, what was your best view? And it was like, I quit. Like when them niggas gave me another blanket and a candle for and after you sent an email talking about the huge increase our business had this year, baby, I got an attitude.
Yeah, that doesn't
sit
compute.
right. And
are bonuses already included in the agreement, or were you just expecting it?
They haven't given us bonuses, so I was expecting it,
especially around the holidays.
But a lot of times, I understand, like in fashion, like they really don't do that anyway. So when you get it, it's like, it's nice, but I feel like we were all under the impression based on everything.
Oh, so you weren't the only person disappointed with this blanket situation?
Yeah, no.
How much were these blankets? Why didn't you just give me this in money? Why did you buy a blanket?
That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, y'all could have gave us a gift card to just shop at the company, because it costs you nothing. Ooh, the merchandise, whatever. Where I could have went and like found something myself that I like. I'm tired of these funky ass blankets. And when
she says that, but let me remind her, the way this girl
they gave her a bigger blanket.
And bragged about this blanket and what type of blanket it was and how much it costs and all this stuff. Yeah. So I steal this blanket from her because I was being a bully. And
she was being a typical Aries. She was.
I stole this blanket from her. And then once I was like, okay, I'm going to give it back, I tried to give it back. She wouldn't even take it. She was like, no, just keep it. I'll get another one.
By that time, I had another 2 blankets.
No, you did not. You got it afterwards.
Yeah, but by that time, you was really, really trying to give it back. I had another 2 blankets, friend.
I was like, the blanket is in my car. And I was like, but if it makes it in my house, then you done. I was like, so I rode around with it in my car for a long time. And so she never took it back. And now she's like, funky ass blanket. You love that blanket at first.
Because it was one of the more basic ones, like, because it doesn't do too much. And that was like, it was a bigger one. So, because I would bring it when we would go like on the boat, and it was like the side of people we would share it.
Yeah.
But it was much bigger than the standard one. That's why. But it's okay. You can have my little jungle panther blanket.
Oh, it's mine now. It's in the house.
But it's, but honestly, like I feel very optimistic, very positive. Like some of the new things that have been added to my book, and even just experiencing being able to help put together the live
Oh, in St.
show.
Louis, yeah.
Like I love being able to do stuff like that because I worked behind the scenes when I worked at like Fashion Week and stuff. So being able to really see stuff come together. I work in operations at my company, so once you see like understand the ins and outs and the ropes, it makes it like really cool. Like when you see it happen, like y'all, it was too much happening, but I probably would have cried, like in a happy way, because I just love my friends, and I love like seeing everybody like win and succeed, and it just inspires me to continue to push forward. So I'm firm on my boundaries, even firmer. My mama said something the other day. I was like, oh, we're not doing this in 2023. We're not. But it was like you said, I'm like, I took a moment, I took a step back. Am I gonna revisit that conversation? I will, but I'll tell her, I'm like, you already see how I moved last year with certain people that mean a lot to me. You can get that cut off too. Let's not do that. Let's just be happy and support people, and just
them Christians will have you thinking that they can treat you any kind of way, and you just supposed to keep them involved in your life. It's like, no, I will cut your Christian ass right off.
Yes. So yeah, but what about you? What you gonna say?
No, I was just about to ask, like, what's number one on your vision board?
Being very, very wealthy.
Do you do
and liquid
resolutions?
Not anymore. I never really did that. I just always had things that I wanted to focus on and accomplish. I do still have to do my vision board. I am that person. I realized to a certain, I put somebody on my vision board one time, but it was more so because like I liked what morally that person stood for. Yeah, that became a thing briefly, but that was fun while it lasted. But just like wanting to possibly like have a kid and things like that. Family is really important to me. Friendships are important to me, and just being able, I think about the idea of not being able to struggle when I have a kid, being able to provide them with things. And not that we grew up as, we were spoiled rotten, but even as things shifted, being able to prepare if there's a shift that happens, and just having stuff stacked away. But like one of the top goals that I have, like, I gave you some stuff today, expanding my business out, testing consistently, landing my commercial agent is one of them. Focusing mainly on my health, because I felt like that had kind of, I don't know what's going on my
No, finish.
Oh yeah, so like focusing like health, mental health, all that stuff, being able to get back in shape. Though you're trying to make me pass out at hot yoga, whatever. But
I love it,
and like being able to really build like my brand out. Like I would love to be able to think of a show and pitch it, or whatever. But yeah, so it's nothing like too crazy that I feel like that's totally not doable. So it's me, the consistency, and really just like pushing.
Consistency has been kicking my motherfucking ass.
You just got to keep pushing through it. You gotta.
I'll start and then I'll be like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. I'll skip a day, and skipping a day turns into a week,
and then go back to it.
Oh,
like
my
sometimes,
God.
like you need that clarity nut, and then you move on. You're like, shit, like I was being dramatic.
I'm one of them people that I like building up until I'm able to like really get a good one, so I don't just do those little passive. Passive, yeah, but pretty much. Well, no, yes and no, because edging I want to make sure we have the same definition, because edging usually means it's like you're worked up, you're doing the things, you're just not allowing yourself to release. You pull back before the release.
Yes.
Me, I don't even put myself in the situation. I will just be horny.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, some days I'll be horny. Like,
and I'll be like, I'm not going to take care of this, because when I finally do get to nut the way I really want to, then I want it to be great.
Yeah. I just feel like I'm
She'd be like, look.
I hit her up. I was like, "Hey, do you be at work horny? Because I be at work horny, and I don't know what to do."
Yes, go in the bathroom.
I'm
Flick
like,
that bean, girl.
Listen, and the way my OC do and paranoia is set up.
Auto-cunnilingus yourself.
Listen. I just be like, germs everywhere, germs.
You ain't trying to grind on the toilet seat.
I know, but it's just the air in the bathroom. Okay, I hate going to the bathroom in public. I hate doing anything in public.
It's like your vagina is already exposed. If you're going in there to pee,
I know,
just leave it out a little bit longer.
I hate it.
Just leave it out. Play with that coochie, friend.
Okay. What else you got for me? This is...
No, I'm excited about this year because I've taken on a new role with Tahir and our whole work dynamic. We're learning how to actually work together at this point, because it was very, very separate. And so now I'm more of a support, not so much behind the scenes for him now. And so we're figuring that out. And so far it has gone really good, and it's perfect fucking timing, because I always had the idea or had the vision of supporting him in this way before. But our communication was trash years ago. And it probably would have been the cause of our demise. So I'm happy it's happening now, where we can slow down and actually, like, I actually had some happy tears the other day because we had a little meeting, and he kind of reverted for a moment and started to shut down and get defensive and shut down. And I noticed it and was trying to catch him before it happens. But in me trying to catch him, I got really emotional. And I was like, I just need to stop and walk away for a minute. So I was like, this is overwhelming me. I need a beat. And he was like, okay. And I grabbed my water bottle. I went and I sat on the steps and pulled my shit together. And I went back and I just continued the meeting until I was done processing on how I wanted to approach the topic. And I was like, okay, I think I figured out how to address this now, how to say, what it is I need to say. And so I was able to explain my point. He heard me. We discussed it, moved past it, and it was like this beautiful thing that would not have fucking happened like 5-6 years ago.
It's a process.
Yes. And so after we were done with the whole meeting, I told him, I was like, yo, I got to give you and us our flowers, because that whole interaction would have shut us down for a couple days. And I was like, but I heard you heard me. Things are resolved, not just swept under a rug. We have a plan, like all these things. I was like, so I just really appreciate where we are right now. And we hugged and I cried and it was a whole situation, but it just felt good to see that growth. But oh my God, yes. That is just one of the things that I'm like, this isn't going to be an necessarily easy transition for either of us. But thank God we finally have those communication skills to where it can happen a lot smoother than it would have in the past.
And also with that too, that helps with the consistency. Like, because you have to actually show up. So then that starts to roll over in other areas of your life too. And sometimes, like I said, y'all know my black ass. I listen to my body consistently. And just knowing like when to take a step back, like you said, and rest. And okay, maybe I need a moment to process that. Because sometimes when you're in the heat of the moment and you just be saying shit, what Tyler Perry say? He's like, don't fight below the belt. Don't fight below. So that was like, Tyler Perry be saying a lot of bullshit, but like some of the stuff that
makes sense, because men to here, we never hit below the belt. Like even when shit got really, really heated, we did not say some like they bring up like never go after your partner's like genitals or
Yeah.
talk about your man's penis being small just because you're mad.
Yeah.
Or tell your woman she's a bad mother just because you're mad. Like that's below the belt fighting.
Yeah.
And so it's like those things we just never ever attacked each other below the belt. We never did that.
Relationships just in general, I was talking to one of my really good homeboys yesterday about it, and because he has like his girlfriend like is in the process of moving in and all these different things, so we were talking about like relationships, healthy ways to communicate and with each other, being able to really like listen to each other, listen. And I've had situations where I might have been reactive in public or vice versa, and so I was just like, hey, one of the things that I don't like when people keep bringing up certain things. And so that's a trigger for me because I know my personality, and I know after a while I'm like very nonchalant, like, bro, like we already, so now it looks like I'm being passive aggressive, but I thought we already got down to the bottom of it. We've worked on a solution to move forward. Don't bring it up. Is there something that's still bothering you? Yeah. And they're like, oh no, it's been funny. Well, that's not funny to me.
No, exactly.
Or even if
I feel that
somebody's having a bad day, and you could just say, oh, you were asking them a question about something that's really not a big deal, and they kind of flip out. I was like, it's okay to say tomorrow. Tomorrow, like, right, I just need a moment today. And so that's happened. So I like what's happening, even though I love you. You drive me insane. And now I have a child full time. And it's an adjustment, and I'm sleepy. Because this dog has been getting up at 2 and 3 and 4, and everybody's like, it's a baby.
And this is temporary with a dog. With human children, you are tired until they move out.
And then you're still tired.
and you're still tired.
It's a certain level of independence that I would say my sister and I adapted very young, where if my mama said she was tired, I said, you made that up, and that's your fault, because we cook our own food. We're in activities. We're not here. You could have done all.
Now she said you made that up.
You made that up. You the one that decided to have that kid when you was 40, not us. And then, not my problem. I'm grown now. I was 10, but still, I knew how to cook, use the oven, all of that stuff. But
stop talking to me. If you was on the phone with me right now, I'd be like, get off my phone.
She would. But I think part of the whole thing is what's happening with this year. I feel the love. I feel like it's just the air is different. And I love that. Like, I like that. So I love where you're going, who you're blossoming to be, friend. You're there.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. I see you.
You're so pretty.
So are you. We have a similar face. That's why you saying
We're not talking about me right now. We're talking about you. You so pretty. Just say thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. So this was a great episode. Yes, thank you for joining me. Tell the people where to find you.
I have an amazing candle line called St. Angela's. This is a brand. I want to make I got ideas. So it just came to mind. Okay. Maybe I'll put a code up for y'all.
Ooh, do it.
Yeah, I'll put a code up. It'll be the Moors. I'll give y'all 20% off y'all first purchase of $50 or more. Yeah, do that. It's cool. Yeah, I could do that. That'll be active whenever this drop. I'll double check my inventory, make sure things are right, make some candles all weekend to add to the inventory so y'all can be satisfied.
Well, this episode will air on the 17th, so
okay, yeah, I got time. Yes. But I'll put it up there, because I know if like the next episode, Patreon, whatever things will go tonight. Let me count my inventory and make sure.
This one's not on Patreon. Okay, so cool. You'll be good.
But yeah, so I'll do that. Then also whiskey soured. Still fun. Oh man, I have Cletus coming up.
Really?
Cletus is a clown.
I want to be on there with Cletus.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like I want to talk to him.
I love Cletus so much.
So yeah, maybe Cletus coming back to LA. I want him in this studio.
Yeah. Hit him up and ask him. I don't know.
I will. Let me write that down, because I'll be forgetting shit.
Yeah, Cletus is hilarious, and we had a really good time. And then Then I have the Everyone Needs an Aquarius podcast with my co-host Daryl.
How's that going?
Oh my God, it's so much fun.
Let me stop asking questions and saying shit. We supposed to be wrapping up. Girl,
I know,
finish.
but it's such a good time. Like, it just how our brains work, and we do it from the gaze of like what are supposed to be our personality traits as Aquariuses. So that's a lot of fun. So I doing that, and like I said, you know my life, you know where to find me, and St. Angeles. Saint dash, so that's SAINT-ANGLES.com/candles. You can find it.
GELES.
Yeah, so it's like, St. Louis,
Los Angeles.
Just Angeles. Remember that. And then that's how you'll find me everywhere. But yeah, like, subscribe. I've been TikToking more. That's been fun.
Really?
Yeah, TikTok has been fun, and the TikTokers, they be trying to be petty and mad, and y'all just weird, but I love it because just keep pushing me up the algorithm. That's fine. And that's it.
So thank you guys for joining us for another episode of More to the Story, and we will see you next week. Bye.